All right, what's going on, guys? So it's been about 2 months, month and a half since we got back from Moab. Probably closer to 2 months. Yeah, shit, it's been a while. I haven't filmed anything. Been super busy. I have been trying to do a bunch of stuff on the Land Rover. Basically, we got back from Moab. I went to go drive it. It was sort of warm out, and it's just been running like shit. And I've been doing stuff to get it to run better. Fix oil leaks, etc. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and give you a rundown of what we've done and what we're gonna do today. In the engine bay, first thing that happened is that coolant hose down there exploded while I was sitting here idling. Car started to overheat, shut it off immediately. Found a hose that works to fix it, put it on, and then could not stop it from overheating. I had just overheat. Every time I would drive it would overheat, or then I got to a point where every time I just put the air conditioning on, it would overheat. So I went through new coolant reservoir, new cap, new thermostat, 180 thermostat, gasket, new fan clutch and fan from a Chevy Trailblazer. Trimmed it down so it fits better. Still rubs a little bit on the guard, but no big deal. New belt. The electric fans I hardwired. I don't think that they were kicking on, so I hardwired them up to the aux beam. Let's see. So that's that. Now for it running rough, getting misfire codes, I have gone through and I put a new IAC in, plugs, wires, ignition coils. I think that's it on that front. I do have more stuff coming in to try. I have a new throttle body coming in. As you can see, this one is on its last leg. I ordered a Dorman one. We'll see if it works. This is hard to find. You can't find OE gems anymore. So that's for what I've done for it running rough. I think that's it. Oh, replace some vacuum hoses, like the PCV hoses and stuff. Now for oil leaks, we started to leak pretty bad. So new valve cover gaskets, both sides. And then the rest of the stuff's underneath, and I'll show you that. Underneath, this swivel hub was pouring out grease. So new swivel hub seal, new bushings in the top. I didn't change the bottom gasket, so I still have a little leak. So at some point I'm gonna have to pop this out and reseal that. As soon as I finished that side, I was lazy and I didn't order this kit for this side. This side started leaking more, so I'm gonna have to do this side anyways. While I was in there, I changed this tie rod end, this tie rod end. These two I have on the way. Steering felt way tighter like that. Also went through and just tightened stuff. Now if you can see up here, I got a front crank seal leak that I'm gonna try and seal up at some point. I have the part, I'm just too lazy to do it. Along with all the power steering leaks, which that'll come. I'm not worried about that right at this moment. We'll step underneath. What I'm worried about is my transfer case drip has turned into a transfer case pour. After you drive it, it starts gushing out. I cleaned it off and it doesn't really look like it's coming from up there that much. It definitely is, but this looks to be the main culprit. So I'm gonna pull that off and we're gonna try and make a seal today for that out of some gasket maker. And hopefully that stops a majority of the leak. While we're under here, new cats, trying to figure out if that was my rough running issue. It definitely attributed to it. New O2 sensors in the front. I need to get two more for the back. Let's see here. I think that's it for what we've done underneath. Besides go through and tighten everything. Everything is loose. So like these shocks, I had a wicked bad clunk in the back. They were finger tight. But that's all I've done really. So on to the next part, I'm going to drain this, pull out the fill first, then pull out the drain. If you pull out the drain and you can't get the fill out, you're screwed. I know mine will come out because I just had it out, but if you're doing this at home, fill plug, drain plug. So, all right. Fill plug is loose. I'm gonna take that out all the way. It's good to have a drain pan or something, just in case there's too much fluid in here and it starts coming out, so you're not scrambling to get it. Be careful if you just drove your car, the exhaust will be hot. I'm burning the shit out of myself right now. Yeah, so as you can see, and I missed the drain pan anyways. All right, so drain plugs out, fill plugs out, put that somewhere safe. Next up, I'm gonna pull the draining. Take a look at your drain plug. I had this out not too long ago. See if it'll focus. I have some light over here. I had it out not too long ago because I changed the fluid. That is all metal on top of there, so that's great. So I will clean that off before we reinstall it. Next up is we're gonna get these bolts out all along this square inspection plate. Pretty sure it's a 10. Let's see. Yeah, so it's a 10 mil. We're gonna need 2 hands. It's probably actually 3/8, but 10 mil will work fine. If it gets a little strippy on you, go to the American size. All right, I'm gonna put the camera down so I can get those out and then we'll come back. All the bolts are out. You gotta get the pan off. If yours wasn't RTV'd on, you won't have a problem. Mine was RTV'd on. So I'm gonna use a sharpened pry bar. Go in here very carefully not to gouge the aluminum and just tap it with a hammer and it should pop out. Now that the pan is off, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through and you're gonna scrape off all this old gasket maker, clean it with some brake clean, degrease it, whatever you wanna use. Look inside of your inspection plate and go, oh my God, that's fucking disgusting. And I'm pretty sure there was water in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and clean all of this gasketing material. I just like to take a razor blade. I am gonna clean it out with brake clean first. That way it's not dripping on me. So go through, scrape all this, clean the bloody bollocks off of that. I mean, hell out of that. British engineering is taking me over. Clean enough for me. This, I need to take it has like a ridge in it, so a razor blade cutting that off is just a pain in the balls. I have a aluminum safe grinding disc, cookie, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna use that, clean it up, maybe clean the outside a little bit, and then we're gonna cut the gasket for it. All right, after you got it all cleaned up, good enough for you, good enough for all your blokes, you're gonna go find a flat surface. I have this gasket maker I got off of Amazon for like, I don't know, cheap. I think it was like $9. You're gonna go ahead and place it down. I need 2 hands for this. I'm a 2-hand kind of guy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and trace that with a Sharpie just along the edge, snip it, and then we're gonna go and drill the holes out of the gasket maker because I don't have one of those hole punners show up on camera, but I can see it pretty clearly. See the mark about 1/2 inch up from the bottom? All I did is lay this down on here, Sharpie, scrape it. Now I'm gonna go and cut out the center of this. Not something that resembles this. Told you I wasn't gonna be careful. It is very crooked. Don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and poke a couple holes in it, and we're gonna call it good. One thing I like to do is I like to go and put a thin coat of black RTV. Make sure you put black RTV. It's oil resistant, works better, much stronger, more athletic. Black RTV. I would go and put a thin coat on both sides. I'm gonna put this down, brink, and then put another little thin coat, and then go smush it up into the car. Now that I've taken the gloves off so I can feel better, feel it better, feel the hole better, feel the bolts putting in better. I'm gonna go ahead and spray brake clean on this one more time, get the little remnants off there, smush this up, brink, and I got all the bolts in. They were a little hard to get through the hole that I had punched in the gasket because it wasn't perfect, but with a little bit of perseverance, a steady pressure while spinning, I eventually was able to get the bolt through the hole. So I just tightened them all up. I'm gonna go through, give them one more little snug, and then toss I'll clean this up and then toss the drain plug back in. So if it tickles your feathers pink, go ahead and put a new drain plug washer on it. I did, but I also had them laying around, so I put a nice fancy one that's doubled and it fucking clamps down. It's pretty sick. Don't over tighten that. Aluminum, strip out. Next step up, fill her up, bub. I ran out of fluid, but once she looks like she's ready to settle down, that's when it's full. So you'll see some running out of that hole. That'll be good. Go ahead and put your fill plug back in. Drive it around a little bit, see if it leaks. So I drove it around the block. It's been sitting for a few hours. Everything on the inspection plate is dry as a whistle, but I just noticed this little bit of a leak coming from higher up, which that sucks. But hopefully that wasn't where the leak was the whole time. Hopefully it was both. And I've at least slowed down the leak extremely because I really don't feel like dropping the transfer case. But there's that leak. The pan's not leaking really. This is our next concern. I don't even know if I'm gonna bother fixing it. And then power steering leaks. But we're good for now. So that's it on this one. Catch me on the next vlog when I'm trying to install a fuel pressure regulator.